Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are playing with makeup and we are going to be getting glam. Now if you are a viewer of my channel and have been for some time, you know that I love to stick to the natural, more everyday makeup styles, and it's infrequent that I dabble and play with ultra glam and colorful makeup and whatnot, but today I thought it would be fun to do a makeup look using tips and tricks, makeup processes. I can't think of the word. Hopefully I will have discovered what word I'm looking for. It's on the tip of my tongue when it comes to titling this video, but doing makeup that I just don't normally do. So I kind of wanted to do an ultra glam makeup look, throwing in a few tips that I see so many people that I follow on Instagram and YouTube use and do, and that I just never incorporate into my everyday makeup. Large inspiration from this video has come from I Love Sadie, aka Karen. She's truly someone who comes to mind when I think of like ultra glam. She is so fabulous, so beautiful. Her makeup is impeccable. There's never like a speck out of place. And I just wrote a good list of tips when I was watching her video. So I Love Sadie, what's up? Big fan over here. And let's dive in and do some makeup. So I was actually torn. I didn't know if I wanted to start with eyes or my face. So until I think of what I want to do, I'm going to start with the eyebrows. And one thing that people have done all the time, I may have used to do this maybe when I worked at MAC, like back in the day, but I have no recollection of the last time I did this, but it's doing an eyebrow cleanup. People put concealer and things around their eyebrows to make them ultra defined, maybe give a little bit of brightening to the eye area, and it's just something I never do. It's also something that might not be effective when it comes to the feathery brow look. So I thought I'd kind of take a little trip down memory lane, do my old school brow, just filling them in as normal, not kind of swiping them up with the laminated slicked brow look as much, and do a little eyebrow clean and see how we feel. So I'm going to start there. So I'm going to start by filling my brows in with the Dior Show Brow Styler. I have this in the shade 001 Brown. I'm basically just going to fill in my brow like in the shape that is naturally there, make them a little bit more straighter, and go ahead and use a brow gel, and then we'll clean it up after. It feels so weird to see my brows like this, not having licked them up immediately, but one thing that I absolutely must do is go in. One of my favorite tips ever is take an eyeshadow brush and just make sure to fluff that at the front of the brow to give it a more natural feel. So the brows are filled. I haven't seen my brows this straight in a hot minute. I'm going to take my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter and just use this to set those hairs in. I'm not doing any kind of slicking up. I'm just letting them kind of do their thing and just setting them in place. How bizarre. Feels like it's been so long since I've done my brows like this. Just straight. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do before we specifically do the brow cleanup is pull out an oldie. So I Love Sadie in the videos that I watch, she really frequents the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer, both of which I haven't used in a hot minute, so I thought I would pull out the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And she also uses this on her eyes to prep for eyeshadow, so I figured we could kind of like do a little two-in-one here. I'm gonna apply the concealer to my eyelids, and then once we're done blending it out, I'm going to take this kabuki brush and just blend that all over the lid to prep the eyes. Then we can go ahead and do the proper little brow cleanup. So to do the brows, I'm going to take a little bit of the concealer on a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take that and just outline the brows underneath the brow. I feel like this is just highlighting all of the hairs that I miss when I am doing plucking myself at home. Is this the correct vibe here? I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know. I feel like I just... It's very sharp. It also looks very odd because absolutely nothing else on my face is done. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's just something that I never do. I never do a little chisel out of my brow. I feel like it just makes it look too clean for my liking because for so long I've been doing like a very messy, fluffy, like feather brow. So this just feels very alien to me, but we'll continue on and see how we feel. The concealer on my eye is already starting to crease, so I'm going to take a little bit of powder and just make sure to set that in before we go ahead and use any shadow. So then I suppose because we are already here, it just makes sense to start with the eyes. So I wanted to do a pretty intense smoky eye. I'm gonna try lashes. I'm gonna try strip lashes. This has been a never-ending thing. I've been on YouTube for 8 years and I still can't do a regular strip lash. I always do individuals. I always struggle when it comes to fake eyelashes, and it just seems so easy for other people in the world to do them. So I'm going to attempt a proper good smoky eye here. And there were a couple palettes came to mind with this. I really thought of pulling out the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. It's been a really long time since I've used this. I believe I have a 3 looks using this palette that I filmed years ago. It's definitely one of those palettes that just has you covered for all of the beautiful warm browns, transition shades. It's got a black in here, and then all of these beautiful multicolored eyeshadow toppers here. So that was a contender. However, I do think I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette because this just has you covered. Cool tones, warm tones, all of the beautiful browns that you could possibly need for a good old smoky eye. So that's the palette I'm going to use today. So I'm going to start by taking this shade with a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take that all into the crease. It's such a different experience doing this with these crazy, like, straight brows. It feels so
wrong.
Okay, next I'm going to take a little bit of a deeper shade and use this to deepen up the crease. I'm just taking the brush and placing it right into there, and I'm going to try to blend that into the crease just to give another layer of depth. So now I'm going to take this deeper brown here with a flat shader brush, and we're going to take this across the lash line. I'm going to attempt to do a straight line, and it will be the start of our official little smoky wing. So I'm going to start this, just packing this across the lash line, and I'm going to attempt to take that straight across. And I say attempt because sometimes this is just such a hard thing for me to do. I don't know why, but especially when it comes to doing both of my eyes, it always ends up being very much a different shape, a different angle. And I just feel like the people who have mastered this just have capabilities that I cannot hope to achieve. So I'm going to do my best here, and we're going to be fiddling along the way. I'm just going to take a tiny small brush with that deep brown and just get right into the inner corner, the lash line on the inner corner. That's not something I ever really take the time to perfect. And I usually just leave it like this, which looks a little bit more incomplete. And I feel like this side just looks much more solid, much more complete. And it's all thanks to a little tiny brush because I just can't get in there with the flat shader brush. Or if I do, it's just really messy. So having a little brush, a little detailer brush to do this is super helpful. So whenever I get to this step in doing glam makeup or an intense smoky eye like this, I'm always torn between keeping it matte or adding some shimmer. And I really wanted to take the Auric Defiant Smoke Reflect and do a trick that I never do with the glitter eyeshadow. So we're gonna try it. I hope it's okay. I hope I don't ruin all of this work that we've done. But the tip that I never do is using MAC Fix Plus. It's a tip that is not new. It's been around forever. I'm sure so many of you use it, but it's something that I just never do. And so that's taking the product onto a little brush and spraying it with MAC Plus to intensify the glitters. And it's just something I never do. So let's try it and apply some glitter. So I'm just applying that basically onto the area where we did not apply shadow. Did the Fix Plus do anything different? Did it do anything spectacular? I don't know that if in this particular circumstance, the little MAC Fix Plus spritzing trick really did anything to alter the look all that much, but It's something I never do, and now we have done it. So the next thing that I'm going to do is take a makeup wipe and clean up the bottom of our shadow, of our little wing here, which is always quite a nerve-wracking thing for someone with wrinkly skin like me. But we're just going to clean up the bottom there to give it a very crisp, lovely look. And that's the beauty of doing the eyes first, because you can do this without disturbing anything that's underneath. This side just has a little life of its own, doesn't it? Okay, next thing I'm going to do, black liquid liner. I actually picked up the MAC Black Brush Stroke 24-hour liner. I don't wear black liquid liner very often, if at all. But we're going to be completing this very deep smoky eye by applying a little bit of black liquid liner. And we've already created the line at which we can follow with the shadow, which makes it a little bit easier. We've also already cleaned it up, so we can just apply a little bit of black liner like this to intensify the look. This is one of my favorite liquid eyeliner pencils, pens, contraptions, packaging, brushes, whatever you want to call it. It's so soft, it's so easy to apply, and so far the black one is working just as well as the brown. I'm thrilled with it. Okay, so that's the liquid liner applied. I'm gonna go back in with the deep brown and just pack that on top of the liner just to help it blend in a little bit more. Okay, now for my least favorite part, fake eyelashes. I have two pairs here that I was kind of deciding between. One's a little bit lighter and a little bit more fluffy, and then these ones are just big bad boys from MAC. It's 89 Megastar and 83 Siren Lash. I'm gonna try with the Siren Lash first. I've already cut it to size, or what I thought was my size. I'm gonna apply some lash glue and keep our fingers crossed that I can apply these lashes. It's always a struggle for me. If anyone has any real tips on how to apply strip lashes, because it's been 8 years and I still can't do it, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Or if there's like a great tutorial on it, please help a girl out. I should also note that I am going to be doing mascara after, which I know a lot of people do mascara first, but if I put mascara on first, my eyelashes are already quite long, and I feel like it makes applying strip lashes even harder than it needs to be, so I just go in with the mascara after. I know it means that you can't reuse the lashes very easily after, but it's just the reality. Oh my god, it's not sticking. Ah. I am sweating. I am sweating. Literally, how do people do this every day? Okay, I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury full fat lashes and pray for me. If these pop off, they ain't going back on. They ain't going back on. Okay, let us move on from these eyes for now. Let's go in to the base. I'm going to start with my Smashbox Primerizer, and I'm going to soak my skin in this, give it a good hydrating layer. I feel like I'm blinded by the new plants that I've just grown on my eyeballs as I'm doing this. I wanted to do a little shopping my stash moment, and I pulled out this Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I have this one in the shade 1 and 2 Vanilla, and I'm going to use my beauty blender and apply this all over the skin. I'm going to do a nice even layer, even out the skin tone, and then we're still going to go in with concealers after to like brighten, do a proper chisel of the face, but making sure that we have a nice even layer of the foundation all over our skin first. So for the concealer, I wanted to try the I Love City E method. I think the Tarte Shape Tape concealer that I have is actually a little bit too deep to do this with. So to actually do a proper little brightening, I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Self Setting Concealer in the shade 22. And I might mix the two, which might be a lot, but I'm going to start with the brightening one first. And the one thing that she always does is really focuses it like in the inner corner. I'm going to like totally screw this up, but I'm going to try my best. And she also goes along the nose, which I thought was interesting. Like, I know there's the whole like reverse contouring thing and whatnot, but I just wanted to try her little under eye brightening and nose contouring method. I feel like that's already crooked. Yeah, we're gonna brighten up here. Go down the nose. And she also takes it like right around her nose like this. So I'm going to take the Beauty Blender and attempt to blend this out. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with cream contour. This is the Huda Beauty Tantour Bronzer, Contour and Bronzer Cream in the shade Fair. And I'm going to go ahead and use this. Oh, I forgot how pigmented that was. Whoops. Just take some of that off on my hand. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to use this to warm up the complexion. And then I'm also going to take that down the nose. And I'm just going to use that same little kabuki brush to blend that in. Okay, so then at this point in the routine is where I get a little bit confused. I was trying to piece together how best to approach this, but basically from what I gathered is that she uses a setting powder and sets the entire face. So she just does like one big layer across the face, okay, which I'm gonna do. I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and I'm just using that to set all over the face. Just a light little layer all over. And then we're going to apply blush. I pulled out my little Surratt Beauty Trio. This was a discovery thanks to a masterclass that I got to attend with Katie Jane Hughes. I've talked about this a bunch in the past, but basically just mixing these two colors together. I don't remember what they're called. Actually, hold on. Let me just confirm that right now. Barbe à Papa and Cherubique. Those two mixed together. And I'm going to apply that blush, like kind of more up the face. Okay, and then she bakes. So this is baking has been another one of those things that I actually don't know if I've ever properly actually done it. I remember when I was first really playing with powder, however long ago that was, someone was like, yeah, this is great, but you're not actually baking. In my mind, I was baking, but I actually wasn't. And I've been really meaning to revisit the topic. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder. I really just don't even know how much of this to use, but I did wet another beauty blender just in case I ruined everything. And I've got the powder in the lid, and I'm going to attempt to truly properly bake. We're gonna hit the under eyes, we're gonna hit on the nose, and we're gonna do the little very Kardashian-esque little contour chisel there. And we're just gonna see what happens. So let's, like, how much? How much are we talking? Oh, I am scared. Okay, all right, we're going into the under eyes. And we're going right up onto the side of the nose. Oh, I feel like I went too wide for that already. Oh God, Mom, am I doing it? Am I really baking? Why do I have dots on mine? I feel like whenever I see people do it, they don't have dots. Why do I have dots? Okay. I don't even know what to do with myself now. Guys, we're really doing it. We're really baking. It feels very weird on my face. I also don't know how long I'm supposed to sit here. And now I've forgotten actually what Karen does after this. But I think because the rest of my face is occupied, I'm just going to go ahead and do lips. So I mentioned this a long time ago that I had actually picked this up because of Karen. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade London. She was posting this for a while, like a lot on Instagram. And I was like, okay, I want to try that. So I'm going to try a little nude combo inspired by Karen. I'm taking my MAC Strip Down. I think she uses cork. I have Strip Down, so I'm using Strip Down. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. And then I'm going to go over with the NYX Lip Cream. God, it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. It's really pretty. That's a really, really pretty color. Big fan. Listen, I feel like, I know I've never properly done this, and I'm sure I've ruined something, but I feel like really fabulous right now. Like even when I'm baking, like I feel like I'm fabulously getting ready, you know? I don't know how people do this every day, but it's fun. It's fun. I feel like because I'm dry, perhaps I've baked enough, like we can just do the lips and be done. This is where I was always a little bit confused. Like you just pat it off and say sayonara and that's it. My under eyes look atrocious. I don't know. Oh my god, I feel so weird. Also, my eyebrows are like falling down. I just need to re-lift these a little bit. And then I just want to do a touch of Hula Glow just around the face. I also, like, this side looks fine, but I feel like this side of the contour is like it's a little bit too high. Like I want a little bit too chiseled there. Oh dear. Also looks like I got a little bit of a suspect powder left here on my nose. Oop. Okay, let's finish up the under eye. I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade, the warmer, deeper brown. I'm going to pop that on the under eye. All right, guys, the final thing that I literally never do or haven't done in a very, very long time is putting black liner in my waterline. And I feel like that just needs to complete the smoky eye that we've got going on. And I'm going to try it. I'm going to take MAC Smolder, a classic, and I'm going to line my waterline. If all goes south now, it is too late for us to turn back. Okay. Oh, my body does not like this. Ugh. Well, that did not go on well at all. I've already been filming this for like 2 hours, guys. This is holy. I felt like the black in the waterline was a little bit too abrupt, so I'm just taking the little brush with that darkest brown that we used and just taking that and fluffing it along the actual lashes, just kind of touching the black and just fusing that into the lashes, giving it a little bit of a more soft smoke. I just have black like all on my eyeball. It's just like floating across my eyeball. All right, let's take a little bit of mascara. Let's get these lower lashes dealt with. I'm going to apply 20,000 pounds of Benefit Professional Setting Spray to my face right now. And that, my friends, is the finished look. I have been sitting here for hours. This has been hours. I am like embarrassed to admit how long this has taken me, but this is the true like ultimate glam makeup. This is makeup that I just never do on myself. And honestly, every time I do it, every time I dip my toes into this like very glam makeup world, I just gain a much deeper appreciation for people who literally do this every day, because this is hard. This is true. This is labor, okay? This is a labor of love. Like, it looks absolutely immaculate. It looks perfect in photos, but it's just not something that I can handle for my everyday life. Like, it is intense. It is a lot. And I'm really, really just dying to hear your guys' thoughts on this makeup look. Please let me know your thoughts on a few of the steps that I've done here. Honestly, the baking thing, like, now that I've actually properly tried it, it's something that I feel like I definitely want to play with more, especially when I'm going to like more events and things where I'm like wearing heavier makeup, just to make it longer lasting, because that's something that I really do struggle with. And that's a point that Karen talks about in her videos a lot when she talks about baking. She's like, if I don't bake, my makeup does not last. And I'm like, maybe that's just the one step that I don't like to do so much, because I don't like such heavy makeup on my face. But if I want my makeup to last, you know, like I've already been embracing the powder and it's helped so much since we dipped our toes into the powder world. But maybe I just need to do more baking. I don't know. This has been a very, very glam episode of us trying things, friends. This is today's makeup look. I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the finished look? Is this ultra glam makeup style something that you want to see me do more of? Maybe I'll play with some more colorful eye looks. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I hope that you guys enjoyed this look, and I'll see you all very soon for a new video. Bye!